Ever wondered what the most terrifying aspect of space exploration might be? You might think it's the potential of getting lost in the vast cosmos, or the fear of encountering extraterrestrial life. But for those brave souls who dare to venture beyond our earthly confines, the most daunting aspect is often the unfathomable unknown. Let's take a step back to the year 1961, a time when space was largely an uncharted territory, the final frontier. The first manned space mission, the Vostok 1, was about to launch, and at the helm was Yuri Gagarin, a man about to face the unknown dangers of space firsthand. The world watched with bated breath as Gagarin climbed into the spacecraft, the risk of failure and the fear of the unknown hanging heavily in the air. But what was it that made this mission so terrifying? It was not just the physical dangers that were apparent, the potential for equipment failure, the threat of cosmic radiation, the very real possibility of never returning home. It was the psychological terror of venturing into an environment completely alien to human existence. An environment where up is down, where there's no air to breathe, no ground to walk on, only the infinite expanse of space and time. In those early days of space exploration, every mission was a journey into the unknown. Our understanding of space was limited, our technology rudimentary. Every launch was a leap of faith, every astronaut a pioneer. The fear was palpable, the danger real. But despite these risks, we pressed on, driven by an insatiable curiosity and an unquenchable thirst for knowledge. Space, the final frontier, is not only vast, but eerily silent and deadly. The vacuum of space is a realm of extremes where human life in its natural form cannot exist. The absence of air and the lack of atmospheric pressure pose a significant threat to astronauts. This is a realm where there is no up or down, left or right. It's a place where the concept of direction loses its meaning. This vacuum, this absence of matter, can cause what we call decompression sickness. Imagine a scenario where an astronaut's suit is breached. The low pressure outside would cause the gases in the body to expand, leading to a grim fate. The body would not explode, as some science fiction films would have you believe, but the outcome would still be fatal. And then, there's the very real danger of simply getting lost in space. The vastness of space is so immense that it's almost impossible to comprehend. Imagine the Earth as a single grain of sand and space as all the beaches of the world combined and multiplied 1 billion times over. In this vastness, losing your way is not just a possibility, it's a probability. Take for instance the Apollo 13 mission. This mission was meant to be the third to land humans on the moon. But an oxygen tank explosion led to a critical failure. The crew had to abort their moon landing, and for a time, it was uncertain if they would return to Earth at all. But thanks to the ingenuity of both the astronauts and the ground crew, they managed to narrowly escape the deadly void and return home safely. The void of space is a silent killer, one that poses a constant threat to our astronauts. It's a place of unimaginable dangers, where every mission carries the risk of becoming a one-way trip. But despite these risks, our curiosity and drive to explore push us to venture into this silent void. After all, as the saying goes, fortune favors the brave. Beyond the silence and the void, space is teeming with unseen hazards. One of the most pervasive of these is cosmic radiation. Unlike the familiar radiation we encounter here on Earth, cosmic radiation originates from the sun and other celestial bodies, and it's not something you can simply block with a layer of sunscreen or a hat. Cosmic radiation is composed of atomic particles that move at almost the speed of light. These particles, when they collide with matter, including the human body, can cause serious damage. They can break DNA, kill cells, and increase the risk of diseases like cancer. This is not just a theoretical concern. Astronauts who spend time in space receive doses of radiation that are hundreds of times higher than what we experience on Earth. To understand the risks and effects of cosmic radiation, scientists have been conducting experiments and studies. One key study in this area was the Mars Radiation Environment Experiment aboard the Mars Odyssey spacecraft. Launched in 2001, the Mars Odyssey has been circling the red planet for over 2 decades, gathering data about the Martian environment. The Mars Radiation Environment Experiment was designed to measure the radiation environment that a future Mars mission would encounter. It found that the radiation levels on Mars are 2 to 3 times higher than in low Earth orbit. This implies that astronauts on a Mars mission would be exposed to a significant amount of radiation, even with the best shielding technology currently available. This is one of the key challenges that space agencies and private companies must address as they plan for future missions. How do we protect astronauts from cosmic radiation? Can we develop better shielding technologies, or find ways to repair the damage caused by radiation? These are questions that scientists are working hard to answer. The invisible danger of cosmic radiation is a constant threat during space exploration. It's a reminder that as we reach for the stars, we must also stay grounded in the realities of the universe we inhabit. We must face these challenges not with fear, but with the determination to find solutions. The dangers of space aren't just physical, but also psychological. Space travel, while an incredible human accomplishment, also presents a unique set of psychological challenges. The mental strains that astronauts face on long-duration missions are as significant as any physical threat. They are isolated from their families, friends, and the familiar comforts of Earth, confined within the tight quarters of their spacecraft. This isolation and confinement can lead to a feeling of being cut off from the rest of humanity, a sensation that is both profound and deeply unsettling. Consider this: astronauts are surrounded by a vast, infinite expanse of nothingness, with only a thin wall of metal separating them from the vacuum of space. They are more alone than any human has ever been. This intense solitude can lead to feelings of loneliness and depression, which are only exacerbated by the constant stress and danger of their mission. On top of this, astronauts must deal with the effects of living in a microgravity environment. This can disrupt their sleep patterns, leading to fatigue and diminished cognitive function. Their bodies are under constant strain even as their minds grapple with the enormity of their situation. In addition, the very nature of space travel means that astronauts must be prepared for any eventuality. This can lead to a constant state of hypervigilance, a draining mental state that can further exacerbate feelings of anxiety and stress. But perhaps the greatest psychological challenge faced by astronauts is the knowledge that they are a long, long way from home. They are completely reliant on their spacecraft and their fellow crew members for survival. This reliance, coupled with the knowledge that help is millions of miles away, can lead to a sense of vulnerability and fear. Despite these challenges, astronauts are trained to manage these mental strains. They undergo rigorous psychological testing and training before their missions, and they have access to mental health professionals while in space. But even with these resources, the mental toll of space travel is an often overlooked but significant danger. Space exploration pushes the boundaries of human endurance, not just physically but mentally and emotionally as well. It's a stark reminder that the final frontier isn't just out there in the cosmos, but also within the human mind. The mental toll of space travel is an often overlooked but significant danger. With every new frontier we conquer, new dangers await. And so it is with space, the final frontier as we venture deeper into the cosmos. Our journey into the stars has only just begun, and yet already we are faced with potential threats that are as vast and varied as the universe itself. As we plan for long-duration interstellar travel, we must grapple with uncertainties that boggle the mind. Imagine a journey lasting several generations. How do we ensure the survival of our species on a spaceship for hundreds, perhaps thousands of years? How do we maintain a stable society, a viable ecosystem, and a resilient gene pool? The challenges of such an endeavor are enormous, and we are only just beginning to understand them. And then there's the possibility of encountering extraterrestrial life. It's a thrilling prospect, but one that also comes with its own set of dangers. What if these life forms are hostile or carry diseases for which we have no immunity? What if our very presence disrupts their ecosystem, leading to unforeseen consequences? Even the technology that will carry us into the stars poses its own risks. Advanced propulsion systems, artificial intelligence, and nanotechnology all have the potential to revolutionize space travel, but they also carry risks that we are only beginning to understand. There's also the matter of resources. As we venture further into space, we will need to find new ways to sustain ourselves. Mining asteroids, terraforming planets, harnessing the power of stars. These are all possibilities, but they also present their own unique challenges and risks. But despite these unknowns, we press forward. Because space exploration is not just about confronting danger, it's about overcoming it. It's about the human spirit, our curiosity, our thirst for knowledge, and our desire to push the boundaries of what is possible. As we continue to push the boundaries, we must be prepared for the unseen dangers that lie ahead in our cosmic journey. For in the vast expanse of space, the only certainty is uncertainty. But it is in that uncertainty that we find the potential for discovery, for growth, and for a future that is truly out of this world.